this section 3.4, we're going to talk about transformers, estimators, and pipelines. So a transformer is, as we have covered quickly in our last video, is to transform a data frame into another, usually by adding columns. So vector assembler is actually one of the transformers, right? And tokenizer and stoppers removers are transformers as well. And then on the other hand, estimators are, think of estimators are like models, right? You can actually have, fit something and predict something, right? So logistic regression, decision tree regressor, those are considered as estimators. So in our pipelines, right, typically we have both transformers and estimators, right? So this is pretty much like the overall flow of a pipeline. Say you have raw text, right? You have some, strings and some text data, and you want to tokenize them, right? So tokenizer, remember what is that? So tokenizer is actually a transformer, right? You're just, pretty much tokenizing the raw text into words, right? Each token is a word, and then you are creating feature vectors. Remember, feature vectors you can actually use the vector assembler to do that, right? To convert features, bunch of features, into a vector of features, right? So, and then lastly, logistic regression model. This is where the estimator fits in, right? So this is the entire pipelines, and as I mentioned before, Spark ML is all about pipelining. Right, so let's take a look, right? So we're gonna import all these things. We can see ML, right? It's all coming from Spark, PySpark.ml, and then we're gonna import pipeline, right? And logistic regression estimator, right? And also dot feature. So we're going to do a regular expression tokenizer, which is which is a transformer, and hashing TF, right? So let's say we're going to prepare some like training documents, right? So we're only going to have, say, five data points, right? Very easy. So the first one is going to be index, right? The first column is going to be index, second column is going to be text, last column is going to be label. So it's going to be binary 1010. So say, Spark is like Hadoop MapReduce, yes, right? And then Sparks fire, no. So whenever you say 0, that just means no or false, right? So, and we'll just have some examples so that we can, use to really look at how pipeline works. So the first thing we're going to do is regular expression regex tokenizer, and now the input is really the text, right? And then the output is going to be tokens, and the pattern is just going to be \w. So this is just to say white space, right? We want to tokenize it with, or split it with, any space in here, right? So in the hash if we can actually do tokenize and then features, right? From tokenize, and then we want to convert into features. And lastly, it's going to be logistic regression, right? So this part is going to be the modeling part. It's going to be estimator, right? So we'll do, first transform it, right? Regular expression, right? Tokenizer dot transform, and then training is our DF, original DF. So this will give us the tokenized words, and then we can actually convert it through hashing DF. So this will give us a vector of all the features, where all the words per text, and then we can actually fit it, right? This is pretty much similar to our sklearn, the examples that we have had for sklearn, right? So LR dot fit and hashes. That's it. And then we use columns named features and labeled by default, right? So so the features that are going to be used for logistic regression are features, and labels are just what we have in here, right? So those are target labels, and then logistic regression will actually look for those headers to actually see which columns to use as features and as target. So then let's prepare test documents the same way, right? Except for the fact that we don't have labels for these, right? Because we want to use those as text for test. And then so then here, right? So you have a test, and then you want to do dot transform, right? Same way that we have transformed our training data set, right? We want to do the same transformation on our test, and then pretty much doing the prediction, right? So the transform in here, right, you can actually see it's actually nested. The first thing we want to do is using regular expression transformer or tokenizer, transform the text. And then we are going to use hashing TF to transform it, right? Vectorize it. And then we want to use logistic regression model. Instead of fit, right, in sklearn, we're going to use transform. So now this is our prediction. We can actually just select some columns, right, and then do dot show. You can see text, right, and then prediction and probability, right? So we're going to get the prediction itself and also the probability, right? So that's it. So you can see how pipelining can work using PySpark and ML library. Thank you.